Well, I'm here. I am here. It seems like I always run into problems when I'm getting ready to live stream. I had to fix a heater. It's cold here where I live. Damn Californians. Let's see. Let me get. I gotta get Telegram up. And I had to restart my computer. So, anyway, we'll get everything set up here, and see if we can't lose some more subscribers today. I already lost one, it looks like. They could not handle it, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so that's good. And my YouTube chat. That's okay, good. Now we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Telegram chat is up. So come on in. No limits, no topics off limits, no expectations. So come on in. Okay, well, we'll jump right in. Jump right into this psycho. Better not say that because this is being recorded too.
Alright, boys and girls, no more cuckfather talk today. It's time to get back to fucking business. Are you ready? I know I'm fucking ready. That utter chaos and mayhem is right around the fucking corner. We're talking within days, we're talking within weeks. This whole fucking war that we've all been cooperatively engaging in together is about to come to its conclusion. It's about to come full circle. A lot of entities out there are about to get wiped off the fucking board. Oh yes,
This is so, like, he's so sure of this. Like, what makes this time any different from the other times that take your pick of influencers said this shit? I mean, the one I'm thinking of is Lou. Lou said this shit all the time. He said it every fucking week. He said this. So my question is, what the hell? Like, what information do you have? I mean, maybe he'll say. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Are coming, and not even the ghost of Mother Teresa is going to be able to save your asses. I officially have my doomsday watch strapped up. I'm in bunker mode. I am dialed the fuck in and ready to have my plans executed. That means multiple exit strategy scenarios, as we've discussed before. Lining up the next fucking plays, lining up the banks, lining up all your people, everything you need to do, getting everything locked and loaded and ready for the storm, because the storm is coming. And I'm just about 100% certain that quite a few people out there aren't prepared. They're not taking this too seriously. They don't believe anything's about to happen. Or the bots, or just regular haters who say the play.
Bingo. Bingo. Tony's live streaming right now? Oh shit. Well, let me check that out. Dueling live streams. I mean, he's probably got he's got 400 people watch. 400 open mic. See, now he is basically that's basically what I've done. Is open mic. Like, come in the chat room, come in the Telegram, come in the voice channel, and talk to me, and say whatever you want. And that's an open mic without calling it as such. So, I swear to God, everybody copies me. Like, everybody copies me, and I
each other screaming and crying.
Screaming and crying. Oh, he's got video open mic.
Fun. But what we will not be doing is talking about when anybody sold. We will not be talking about when to sell. We'll not be talking about prices. You got to know that for yourself already coming to the table. We're just going to be in observation and celebration mode. It's not my job.
Not your job? What are you talking about, Tone?
We've been waiting almost a year now in these plays. So, yes, I would not miss it for the world.
So this is very controlled. Looks like.
I will not be blacking out my channel during the live stream, but I also, during the squeeze, but I also will not be counseling anybody on what to do. No YouTube.
The guy's not even saying anything.
Do not let people influence you to the low side or to the high side. Should already know after this much time in the play what makes sense to you of where to sell.
I mean,
if someone
on one hand,
too
like
early with a low price target.
On one hand, like I appreciate what he's doing there. No prices. That's not my job to tell you. Blah blah blah. I appreciate that. However, the fact that he has to say even that already to me compromises it, because he's already given. Well, everybody knows that these people don't know what they're doing, so we already know that anyway. But the fact that he has to say this, and they have to go over this shit all the time, and they have to talk about the price, and and say we're not going to talk about the price target and all that stuff. Like, to me, it's basically just as compromised in my opinion.
It's trading, but that's not the bulk. That should not be the bulk of anybody's plays. You got your solid plays, and then a percentage that you gamble with. And
well, that's not true. That's not how they do it, Tony. You know that, man. Now he said that he would never have Scott Allen on his live stream. I will never have Scott Allen on this live stream. He's a vile man. That's what he said. But it would be nice to go over there, and I would set up a camera for Tony. I would set up a camera. I would get that app where I can use my phone as a camera for OBS, and it would be shitty, or I guess I could just, I'd figure it out. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, and I was talking to Martin the other night in here. Martin was the guy that told me about that. He told me about Tony saying that shit, which was crazy. If you need to be told when to sell, then what the hell are you doing trading? Right. I wonder, is this Froggy style guy, is he like a mute? Like, is he not able to talk? Like, why? He hasn't said one thing. He hasn't, like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't know.
We're asking, but I think she's planning on going to work tomorrow. So we'll find out. Another? Shout out to Pam. Thank you, Pam. Grandpa Barney says thanks to Pam.
Is that like his assistant, co-host, or what?
That dude says you got to know when to pull out. Exactly. That's what she said. I wish I had my sound effects working. I got to figure out why that is not working on Restream. Quad 1, Mr. Simon says, I love Lou's entertainment. We all love him for entertainment.
No, we don't.
All the OGs.
All right, Tony, that's enough.
That turned on their camera long
that's
before
enough.
me.
AMC's not going to squeeze. The only reason that people are telling you to...
Shit. Okay. I got too much going on here.
Thank and honor each and every one of them for their part in getting people this far down the road.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a funeral. You know what? I'm glad you said that. That I was going to say it seemed like they were in church, but it's the same difference. 6 or half a dozen right there. Like a funeral. Yeah, exactly. Man. Thank you guys for being here. You two are like, dependable. Lamp off.
Play is never going to happen in the comments. Here's what I have to say to that. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you take it seriously or not, is irrelevant. It's coming. It's fucking coming. And there ain't going to be a damn way to stop this shit. This shit's about to be over. We're about to make fucking money. We're about to move on together into other plays and keep rolling the dice. The questions you need to be asking yourself now are these. Are you ready? Are you prepared Do you know your exit strategy? Do you know what your next plans are? Do you know how you're going to proceed legally? Do you know how you're going to proceed with taxes? You would have all this shit prepped in the back of your mind. If you haven't thought about it yet, not financial advice, but now's the fucking
Who in the hell hasn't thought about that shit? Come on.
Get it out of the way now before it's too late.
It's all they think about.
Procrastinate things and then you're stuck in the middle of a storm unprepared and don't know what the fuck you're doing. Now's the time to have those serious conversations with your friends, with your family, with the people closest to you. Reinforce yourself. Strengthen your mind. Keep a circle of encouragement, support, confidence, wisdom, all that shit around you.
Confidence.
We have one fucking mission. It's a simple fucking mission. We bought, we held, and now we have to execute when the time comes. And you need to be ready to swoop in like a motherfucking bald eagle.
Your accounts are going to be executed like the balance is going to be killed.
And everything out. Keep yourself cool, calm, and collected. Stay frosty, stay focused. Because the fucking
cool, calm, and collected. Isn't that TMI saying?
We're all riding these waves together. Me, you, all these motherfuckers, all these fucks on YouTube, every individual shareholder of AMC, all of us, all the other meme stocks, we are all in the same boat together. We're all going to fucking war together. We're all gonna make money together. So this is it. It's do or fucking die. The hourglass sand of time is about to come to an end on this fucking play. And only the strongest will be victorious. Remember, I have your fucking back. You have my fucking back. We're in this fucking shit together.
Not a chance, buddy.
Mobilize, and I'm damn sure many other folks are too. Like Lou on Demand is, like Phil for Real is, like Tendy Time is,
like Scott is,
fucking true soldier Chad Clifford is, ready to fucking go, ready to fucking command and conquer this shit. And all you hardcore motherfuckers in the comments, I know there's some die-hard ass badass motherfuckers up in that shit. We're going to hell and back together, baby. This fucking play has my honor on it. It has my fucking money on it. It has my sword on it. It has my blood on it.
This guy is not going to make it out of this fucking thing alive. I'm going to call that right now. I don't know who said that. Model 3 dude, I think you said that about Ape Andy's thing. He's another one you got to watch. These two need to be on suicide watch because they are cuckoo. Like, there's way too much aggression here, in my opinion, for what this is. I mean, especially because it's nonsense. But, I mean, even if it were like a real, like a valid stock investment, this is like, you know, this is some, I don't know. He's, yeah. I'm worried about him.
On it. And I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm here to take my fucking bags and move on to the next power play. Boom.
Bags are what you're going to have, buddy. Bags are what you're going to have, probably. Forgot to put his mask on. Yeah, I can get behind that. Wait, I just noticed that, like, when he started recording this, assuming this is the same video, I think it is. Look how light it is outside.
All right, boys and girls. No.
And then it's only a 3-minute video. I don't know how many takes he had to do, but that's noticeably darker.
For an answer. I'm here. I know I'm fucking ready.
Look at that.
Utter chaos and move on to the next power play.
That's like a good hour right there.
Are you ready? And move on.
How long does it take to produce a 3.5-minute fucking dumbass video of you ranting like a fucking crackhead? Oh my god. Yeah. So I was gonna say, I'm trying to figure out where the hell he lives here. Now I think I see snow on the ground. I definitely don't see any leaves on the trees. So he's definitely not in the west, not in the southwest. He's in Midwest, Northeast, somewhere. He kind of sounds like he could be from Boston. Maybe he's from Massachusetts. I don't know. Yeah, his editing is pretty decent. His editing is pretty decent. But he captured a lot of video, or he captured it over you know, a couple hours based on that. Like, that's practically before dusk. And that's twilight. That's you know, that's at least nautical twilight. Middle twilight. So I don't know. I just noticed stupid shit like that. So anyway. All right. Now, Manuel put this in the chat earlier, and I don't think I looked at it on a live stream. But there's some good points in here. Everything, and I don't say this, for any other reason than just to point it out, but all the stuff that these guys are saying, like the common sense guys, not the common sense investor, the MOAS skeptics, need a name. There needs to be a term. They're the apes. What is it called besides sensible, objective? I don't know, but like there needs to be some term, to refer to. Anyway, all the shit that they are talking about is stuff that we have talked about here before, like in this video coming up here. So it's interesting because it's like could have heard this months ago. Could be hearing it now if my channel hadn't gotten deleted. But anyway,
the only reason that people are telling you to hold your AMC shares and that it's going to go to $10,000 is because they also own a lot of shares and they want enough retail support to give it a level that will bring in hope, that drives more investors in, that can drive prices up, and they can make money off of it. Either that, or B, they know that you have so much hopium that you'll keep watching their fucking show that tells you every day about why AMC is going to the moon, all the while making money off of you from ad revenue or whatever, and you're stuck, okay? Let me tell you something else. AMC played you guys like a fucking fiddle. Every time they screwed you over, they gave you a little bit of, we're one of you. Let me tell you why. They did a big ass offering of 1 million shares when this thing was at $60. And you know what? People ate it up. They made millions off of it. Stock didn't even drop. And just when people started getting suspicious, guess what? Hey, we're going to start accepting Bitcoin. Yay! Ape Gang, we're one of them. Hey, we're going to hit you guys with another offering. Oh, shit. Yeah, we're floating more shares.
And let me point out, too, that when they accepted Bitcoin, when they started accepting crypto, they weren't really clear about how they were doing it. So a lot of apes thought that they would actually be accepting the cryptocurrency directly and that they would then accumulate positions in crypto. And that was part of the excitement for a lot of these apes. I mean, I remember seeing it on Reddit that they're like, and I see it in these posts like, oh, and it's just really smart for them to accumulate crypto positions because that's the future. When in reality, there is a payment acceptance platform, third party, BitPay, that's where the crypto goes, and then they cash it out into US dollars, and that's what AMC collects, obviously. So I know I've said that on here, and you guys probably know that, but he didn't mention it. But it's just another layer of just peeling back the onion of grift on that. Anyway,
in there, that MOAS that you need everybody to hold and float. Yeah, we're gonna add more shares to that. We're gonna make more money off of it. But hey, we might let Dogecoin, maybe. Yay! They're one of us. We're going to the moon. After they paid all their bonuses off, and they literally got themselves out of almost $1 billion in debt. Retail traders paid off their debt for them. This is a company that before COVID was so goddamn far in debt that there was rumors that they might get bought out. But they bailed them out. And they're like, how do we keep this going? Keep pretending to give a shit about them. Hey, AMC holders, you can get a free popcorn. Yay, they're one of us. Fuck it, keep them buying. Keep offering them. Then AMC dropped all the way down. And you know what they did with all that money? They took the money, they paid off their debt, and you know what they did with all the money that you guys gave them? They bought back their own shares at a discount with your money. Which, what did that do? Drove the price back up. But notice how we're getting lower highs each time? Institutionals are out, or they're shorting the shit out of it. If before COVID, this stock was $3 and $1 billion in debt, and that was before every single industry and every corporation that's in broadcasting had its own streaming service, so you don't have to go out. HBO Max, same day streaming. Disney, same day streaming. You know all those movies that were making billions and billions of dollars? Yeah, people don't have to leave home. So if you were worth $3 a share and you were $1 billion in debt before this happened, you really think this is $1,000 stock? And NFT. I've been called a cynic, boomer asshole for saying this the entire time that this thing was 60 and 50 and 40 and 30. I'm sorry. Like the streams, but this is pretty ignorant. Actors hate streaming. I'm going to pretend that you don't know what you just typed. I'm going to do a favor. I'm going to do this nicely. What you just said is one of the dumbest, most idiotic things everyone in this chat is now dumber for having listened to it. What you just said is, my take is done because actors hate streaming. You're right. You know who else used to make sales from physical copies that went to streaming? Musicians. You know who hated when their music went from records, CDs, and tapes to streaming? Musicians. But guess what? That didn't stop it. When's the last time you bought a CD or a cassette? Doesn't matter how much they hate it. Future's the future, my friend. Because it's not the artists that decide where something goes. It's the consumer. And in this case, the market decided that they didn't want to go out and overpay and buy something that's physical when they can have it in the comfort of their home and their time frame. And that's where we're going now. Just like cable went to cutting the cord. Sure, you'll have concerts. People want the live experience. You'll still have people that go to the theater. I'm not denying that at all. But you're going to see less and less of a box office thing that we used to have. Now, will there be nostalgia? Will there be people that adapt to it? Sure. I mean, records made a comeback, right? I understand nostalgia and things come back in cycles, and it's totally cool. I get it. Musicians had to deal with it. Actors will have to deal with it. Now, there's going to be a lot of choppiness in the meantime, and so there's going to be a lot of that because there's a lot of growing pains, just like we saw with musicians that sued a bunch of streaming platforms and beating like LimeWire and Napster and all those. And we'll see it right now. We saw Scarlett Johansson sue Disney for the thing, and they won. There's going to be some of that. It's growing pains, but it's going to move to the future.
Yeah. So there's that. And yeah, you didn't mention the NFT, but it's certainly a thing. I can't even get mine. I didn't even try it again today. I don't care. It's worthless anyway. But yeah, mine didn't work. Invalid code. I don't feel like I already wasted too much time yesterday trying to do it. Let's see what we got here. You know what? I want to look at price brackets. Shut the fuck up about price brackets. God. I want to see Big Man Speaks. See what he's got out today. See if he's got anything. I don't think he does. Don't think he does. No. Let's see. What about Planted Beta? Isn't that it? God, I hate YouTube search. It's terrible. Oh, Boss Blunts and Jackson Hunter live stream. Let's pop in there.
And back in one day. TradingView and other entities claimed that it was an error on the ticker tape, but a lot of people caught error on the ticker tape, but a lot of people caught it.
There's Boss Blunts with his goddamn fucking conspiracies. Jesus Christ, this guy is so ignorant. He's so fucking ignorant.
Seen that this purchase has happened, but on Bloomberg terminals they come up as unnamed buyer, unnamed seller. The reason, and the only entity that can actually be an unnamed seller at this level is the Federal Reserve's plunge protection team, led by Janet Yellen. So that kind of gives you a clear indication of how bad of a shape the stock market is truly in if it's getting bailed out from market crashes by the Federal Reserve plunge protection team. So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, I tried to watch that Trey video. I watched about a minute of it, and I had to turn it off. I could not watch it. I literally couldn't watch it. It was that video was on fire. I'll say that.
See the way that fucking market goes up and down, it's going to make that look like child's play. And as you can see further on the chart, a little bit further towards the end of the day, that put seller bought back in. They bought back in here, it looks like almost the exact same amount, again, 10 to 50 billion, and are now trading at a lower level. If it was a family office or a hedge fund, they'll have to file or a market maker, they'll have to file a variety of forms to make a trade of this size, and it would be named. And if it was a prime broker or a bank, their name would also be on the name of the sale of the puts. So I think it's pretty clear that the Federal Reserve is working really, really hard to keep the market afloat for as long as possible. But something's going to happen here, like Evergrande or Russia or China war or some other situation.
I was wondering how long it would take before he said Evergrande.
That is just one day with no real news. The only issues we were having was a FOMC meeting with Jerome Powell. That's not a big deal, and options expiration, a lot of options expiration on the stock market. So again, I don't want to dwell on this too long, but the New York Fed balance sheet continues to go up, even though the government's tapering, because the plunge protection team and the New York Fed are working together to buy back shit like this and to sell puts, and it's costing them a lot of fucking money. Our money, your money and mine, our taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Hey, do you want to talk about before I go forward, guys, hit the subscribe button, go to Boss Blunts.
Is that better,
YouTube.
Manuel?
I put his link in the description below.
It was my fault. I had it too low.
Channel. You can subscribe to mine if you want. I don't really care. But Boss, do you want to talk about the Chinese real estate developers and how that affects investors in the U.S. and how that could affect AMC and GME potentially?
Sure. The problem is that, let's just take the largest Chinese real estate developer, Evergrande. Evergrande has over $150 billion in offshore bonds that it cannot repay. $150 billion. Just
not really
Evergrande.
That much.
So companies, who owns
in
that?
the scheme of things.
Royal Bank of Canada, BlackRock, HSBC, UBS, international banks.
They own bonds, right? They own bonds.
Yep, offshore international bonds, and they're the last ones to get paid. Right now, the Chinese Communist Party has taken over Evergrande, and the majority of the board of directors of Evergrande are CCP government officials. So they choose what happens. They've taken so far over 2 million square feet of land, and they've taken a soccer stadium and condominiums and all sorts of things from Evergrande, and they're giving it to people that have interest that are owed money, and companies that are owed money by Evergrande. So everything that Evergrande has is going to be pilfered away into the friends of friends and the friends of family of the Chinese government officials and the CCP. Meanwhile, the company itself is nationalized for absolutely free by the Chinese Communist Party. At the same time, the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal all are owned by or owned together with companies that own all these media entities are owned by these same banks. So they have no reason to come out and say that their collateral is junk, even though they know they're not going to get paid. Because if they do that, then all their collateral, their cheap collateral against AMC and GME, which costs them pennies on the dollar. For example, Shimao is 63 cents on the dollar, and Evergrande is about 12 cents on the dollar from where it was a year ago. So that allows them to maintain 100% notional value of those bonds, because the bonds value is still the same, even though they're trading for a lower level now. The low notional value is still 150 billion, even though you could buy that, all of that right now for, say, 10 billion. That doesn't mean you're ever going to get your 10 billion back. That means it's really worth 10 billion right now, but it reflects on their books as $150 billion worth of collateral. Also, that margin is multiplied, from the prime brokers, from the DTC to the prime brokers, again, from the prime brokers to the market makers, and again, and to the hedge funds as well. So it's actually a lot of gross overvaluations that make absolutely zero sense. And that's how you get Goldman Sachs over leveraged to the tune of 138 to 1. Goldman Sachs has under $1 billion in assets, and they have about $52 trillion in liabilities, notional values. That's positive and negative, gross positive and gross negative fair values. So that means it's losses for Goldman, and both for Goldman and the people on the other side of the trade with the gross negative fair values. There's very little actual asset to be had with these shitty derivatives from these banks.
Boss, what determines the value of these Evergrande bonds? Because you were saying the stock is 12 cents, but the bond.
The ratings agencies, Fitch, Moody's, S&P Global, all of which are headed and owned by the same people that work or have worked at JP Morgan, BlackRock, HSBC, Citibank. They're all banks, these prime brokers, these hedge funds, these market makers, or the SEC. They all weave in and out of these businesses together. So there's no real incentive for them to do that. And what companies now are doing, like Kaiser and Shimao and Evergrande, they're pulling themselves off of these ratings agencies. So now Evergrande and Moody's and S&P Global are not even rating them anymore, because they're not on the list to be rated. So they've got no rating, and they will continue to be used as garbage junk collateral until they're actually submitted in default through a bankruptcy, which is currently being, for example, for Evergrande, is currently being petitioned for by Dr. Marco Metzler, formerly of Fitch Ratings Group. He currently owns and operates
formerly of Fitch Ratings
screening agency, and he's an Evergrande bondholder, his company. So they are currently suing Evergrande in the Cayman Islands, because that's where Evergrande is from. Evergrande is committing bankruptcy.
So in other words, Marco Metzler has a conflict of interest when he talks about Evergrande and its connection to AMC and all this shit. He's absolutely has a conflict of interest, and he is inherently biased because he is suing them. Okay, good to know.
You never have to repay the international bondholders, and the international bondholders are okay with that, because they need that fucking junk collateral right now on their books to prevent margin calls. So It's a big runaround where everybody is incentivized to keep this shit in play, even though it's completely worthless. Shimao, Kaiser, Evergrande, Country Garden, Fantasia, and 100 other Chinese developers are never going to be able to pay their suppliers, their employees, let alone the international bondholders. So little by little, everything's becoming nationalized, and that's going to end up causing everything to default. And when Bloomberg, I don't know what the hell's going on with this camera, excuse me about that, but when Bloomberg finally does, when there's a true default through this bankruptcy and Bloomberg does declare them as bankrupt, that'll be over. Bloomberg will have to mark them as D. They will have no choice. So when you go to a Bloomberg terminal, or if Bloomberg does, they will actually be marked as D officially when they are defaulted in bankruptcy court. When the bankruptcy court says, okay, we accept this petition, you're done. We're going to take all your assets.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, Len. Why is he making such a big deal about it being nationalized? You're talking about
all of that collateral is worthless, just like the Chinese
state
military
capitalist
company
type of
collateral that we discussed earlier. The reason behind January 28th and May 27th.
What am I looking for here?
AMC and GameStop running thousands of percent is because of their collateral, whether it be Chinese military companies or Chinese real estate developers, doesn't matter. When the collateral goes defunct, margin calls will happen, and AMC and GameStop will run, along with all the other meme stocks.
I mean,
in like a reverberation.
That is a total stretch.
Well, how long could it take the court to rule that Evergrande is officially bankrupt? Could that take years?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, let's put it this way. Dr. Marco Metzler is currently working on getting other attorneys, and I have a feeling that he'll have it worked out and the petition's ready to go and ready to be submitted. And I have a feeling that his attorney.
It's not going to come down to one dude.
The middle to the end of this month,
especially a dude
and
like that.
At which point, it's going to take them anywhere between
like
1 to 3
Metzler's totally playing Boss, because I believe that Boss Blunts truly believes what Marco Metzler is saying, but I think Metzler is a scumbag. I think he is a total fraud, and he is playing Boss.
Such as BlackRock.
Not that I feel sorry for him, because there's willful delusion here too, but
to close out positions, fire sale assets in blue chip stocks.
And it should be a open and closed case. I mean, the evidence is pretty glaring that Evergrande is in a terrible situation. So it shouldn't be hard to prove that they are bankrupt, right?
There's been many, many months. No, it's not hard at all. The ratings agencies rank them as restrictive defaults and selective defaults because they purposely didn't pay a bond note. They chose not to pay a bond note because they didn't have the money, not because.
Wow, look at that! Their stock was around the same price, like less than $1, back in 2011, 2012. And then it shot up to like $3, $4,
and Moody's, so
$2, $3,
being rated
almost $4.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hey, let's talk about this fire in Bartlett County.
Oh God, here we go.
It's in Bartlett, Illinois, which is I believe that's DuPage County, if I'm correct. It's actually not too far from me. But so no, I just want to let you know it's not technically Bartlett County. It's just Bartlett, Illinois, in DuPage County.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not
I've been
far
saying
from
it wrong.
Chicago at all. It's shit. I mean, talking in miles, it's only 30 miles from downtown Chicago. It's really not far.
Oh, okay.
It's a hot mess.
Well, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to continue talking here. We got 983 people in here. Appreciate it. Hit the like button.
That's crazy.
To my channel, but more importantly,
almost 1,000 people.
The link is in the description below. And so, Boss, let's talk about this fire, man. I'll go first real quick. You know, I'm not going to say anything conclusive right now.
Oh,
Boss is
that's good. That's good.
Nice. I'm not going to say anything conclusive, but it's very fishy, man. I mean, a 250,000 square foot important document storage facility. You got to keep in mind, this was like TD Ameritrade's records and a bunch of very important.
How do we know
records.
that?
You would think that their sprinkler system.
How do we know that? And it's not the only copy of these records. And you guys don't know shit about sprinkler systems.
Pouring water on these boxes of papers that were stacked to the ceiling, and eventually the boxes of paper got so soggy wet, they got so heavy, and the rack collapsed. And while it collapsed, it took out the sprinkler system. That's the story that I read, and it just sounds
that's not what I read.
Super far-fetched. You would think that like one rack going down wouldn't disable the entire
what happened
system.
Well, I'm going to just turn it down. What happened was the fire department responded and the sprinkler system was active, and the firefighters were in the building attempting to fight the fire, and because the paper that was in there, it was all paper, the place filled up with smoke, and it wasn't ventilated properly or something, and they had to pull out because for the safety of the fire personnel. And so they basically, they couldn't really, and then the fire got worse than the sprinklers could handle, because you're talking about a lot of paper just went up, in flames, because it's all combustible. So they don't know what started the fire in the first place, but I mean, it could be anything. Because electrical fault, it had been, some type of accident, electrical short. Somebody could have dropped, I don't know. Somebody could have left something on. Who knows? A lot of reasons other than it was intentional. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know why they find it funny, but I don't think
what caused the fire department to come out. There's 4 fucking fire departments in Bartlett. There's 2 of them within 1.4 miles of this Access facility. And the current owner of Access, the general manager of Access, the company whose sprinkler system mysteriously collapsed by shelves which were defying gravity, is a former subsidiary company employee of Citadel Information Management,
which has nothing,
I believe, to be indirectly but still tied to Citadel.
No, it is not. It's not tied to Citadel. Not tied to Ken Griffin at all. I'm about to type in the chat here, but I don't want to get into it with these guys. See? Misinformation.
This guy says, Leon says racks are supposed to be below the sprinklers.
Yep.
Yeah, it just seems like so peculiar, like such a weird way for a gigantic, 250,000 square feet. It's not a.
Okay, so the thing about fires is normally, under normal circumstances of business and people going about their lives and business functioning properly, you don't have fires. You don't have a fire. So, by definition, a fire occurs when something is abnormal. You have a series of events, or one large event. You have some anomaly occurs, and anomalies occur in the world. It happens. It's like when you drive your car on the street, your roads, interstate, whatever. You don't normally get into an accident. You don't normally slam up against another car, but sometimes it happens because something went wrong. So, like, when they say it's far-fetched, yeah, of course it's fucking far-fetched. It was an accident. It was a tragedy. It was a major event. It wasn't supposed to happen. Like, this is just confirmation bias, that they're working on here, and it's ignorant. So I think they are destroying evidence about the synthetic shares, because clearly, they have to have carbon copies in triplicate of the synthetic shares, because they had to Xerox them from the originals at some point. So, but they need to keep track of how many they had. So I think that's probably what's there. And then Chilo says if they had something to hide, they probably could have just removed the documents. It would have taken the DOJ a decade to search a warehouse full of papers, right? And that's why I think this has nothing to do with it at all. Nothing to do with it. I would be willing to put money on the fact that there's not even anything relevant to TD Ameritrade or hedge funds or anything to do with AMC. I would put money on that. I'd put $100 on that right now. If we could actually find out, I'd put $100 on that. I doubt there is. These guys are just blowing it out of proportion. They've already misrepresented half a dozen things since they started talking about it.
Extremely purposeful. So there's some real fuckery afoot. Aside from that, it's just kind of a more clear indication that there's things to hide. Did you know that Bernie Madoff was also accused of trying to shred evidence? So maybe this was their way of shredding evidence really quickly.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe it was some fucking pothead, some third shift pothead employee who was smoking a joint or a blunt in the warehouse. And don't tell me that people don't smoke fucking pot in warehouses. And something happened. That very well. Fires, house fires, start all the time from people smoking various substances in bed. And they fall asleep, and the mattress catches on fire. And the next thing you know, you have a working house fire. So, yeah, he's sitting there smoking. And he's like, I don't know how the hell a fire could start. That's crazy. Come on. How these guys are fucking ignorant. Do they really think they would write things down on paper, then put in a building to be safe? I don't know. They're so out of touch with everything. They probably do think that. Man. Rat chewing through wiring. Yeah, there are rats in warehouses. There are mice in warehouses. definitely. I mean, a lot of times the rodent just, absorbs the electricity and, takes one for the team. But yeah, that could very well, Ben, I mean, it's just, it's probably something that nobody would have thought of. Like, nobody has, guessed it yet because it's such a weird, specific thing, specific to that warehouse, and, who knows? I don't know how old the warehouse was, but there's a lot of reasons why that could happen.
Man.
Oh, please.
So guys, if you're in the live chat, I'm opening it up for questions. So if you have a question for Marcel or myself, let us know. And we'll answer these for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll jet out of here. And hopefully you guys have a
Let's see what the hell questions they ask.
Says
it's gonna be fun.
Are designed to not fail. Yeah, that's what I would think as well. Let's see. This guy says lives 8 miles
Nothing
away.
is fail proof.
For my job.
Nothing is fail proof.
People that are, that live 20, 30, 40 miles away that are having giant ashes of paper, burning paper falling in their yards still. Maybe not at this very moment, but when the actual fire was going for that 48.
Oh my God. Well, then it must have been TD Ameritrade. It must have been Ken Griffin who lit it if it's still raining down ash. What?
Let's let everything burn down so there's no evidence left, and we'll truck it out of here, take it to the dump while it's still on fire so nobody can investigate.
Yeah, it's going to catch our vehicles on fire too. Like what? And hey, this should be a quick one. So this is from
Popcorn.
Chin Amazing says, hey, JH and Boss, still good to move into a credit union?
It's better than your local is the contract abusing bank, most likely.
There we go. And then we got this is from Maxi Paganini. Hey, Marcel, do you know State Street owners are BlackRock and Vanguard together?
Does that surprise you? Is it surprising that the BlackRock and Vanguard own State Street Bank? Not really.
The cult is alive and well in here. You're damn right, Anthony. Damn right.
Brother. You want to know why? Because we've done our due fucking diligence, and we can open our goddamn eyes and see what's happening right in front of us. You've got to do that every once in a while.
Oh, okay, boss.
Yeah, man. People can call us a cult if they want, as long as I get paid at the end of the day.
Well, you're not going to get paid.
And I know I'm going to get even richer off this motherfucker, so.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's say what you want.
Let's see. Caleb Stonks, he says, dividends. Do you have any insight on that, Marcel?
Not happening.
Dividends don't mean shit to me. I'm just looking forward to the stock. The stock's running, and that'll happen with a market crash.
Okay. I mean, I think he was implying that it could start the squeeze. So
anything at this point can start the squeeze. Like an elephant can blow its nose in India, and it could start the squeeze. We have no idea.
Yeah, Caleb Stonks. No, I hear you, man.
Weed will open your mind.
I'm not entirely sure if AMC is in the position to do it. I think GameStop is in a position to do it if they wanted to, but don't quote me on that.
If they will, I'm not sure. AMC can't currently. I think there's laws in Kansas prohibiting them from doing so, even though I know they've done it in the past.
It's because they're debt, dummy. I thought you did your DD. It's because of the fucking bonds. It says it right in the contract. I read it.
I don't think that a
Tony DiNaro looked at it.
Either squeeze. The squeeze is only going to come when you've got real.
Smoke another fucking blunt, buddy. Smoke another blunt. Maybe your eyes will get open then.
10, 15 years on these companies.
I'll be right back. I gotta flip my clothes into the dryer. I'll let this play.
Durya
I'll be right back.
Bilgen says, can the plunge protection team use options to stop AMC and GME from running?
The plunge protection team can't move that fast to stop something like that. They're more for preventing a market collapse and whatnot, and they might try to do something about AMC and GameStop, but I don't suspect they'll intervene until things get really, really crazy. I suspect five to six digits. Then we might start seeing some sort of intervention.
Yeah,
I'm holding tight. And I'll take profits on the way up, sure, but I'm going to be holding a large position all the way up to 5-6 figures. I want to see the top, and I want to sell at the top.
Yeah, guys, don't be surprised if the government or broker dealers pull some funny stuff. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm going to say. Just be ready to pivot, have a game plan in mind, and just make sure that it's your game plan. Trey's eye patch, Jackson, who are you going to have open up for you when we all go ape shit in Vegas? You know what? I'm not going to headline, but I would love to have Kevin Gates headline. I would love to have Lil Wayne. I would love to have Eminem, Chip the Ripper, Raz Simone, Yellow Wolf. That'd be a cool lineup. And then I'll open for those guys, which I've already opened for some of them. But, oh, boss, this one's for you, man. How rich are we going to be?
We're going to be so fucking rich. Holy shit. You have no fucking idea yet. You're in for a goddamn treat, motherfucker.
Hey, Uncle Savage says, boss, do you credit that immaculate beard? Hey, I got a pretty nice one too, but his one is better though. I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna be straight up. Do you credit that immaculate beard with the great Chicago pizza and beer, or is it the blunts?
That's a good question. I think the pizza and beer probably have a little bit to do with it. I don't know about the blunts, man. I don't know if it helps or if it hurts or not, but it's taken a lot of hard work, time, and effort, to grow it out. Jackson knows he just had a reset a few months ago, and he started fresh, but it's coming in real nice there.
Dude, you know what? I just trimmed it up about an hour right before we got on, so I'm looking real clean right now. It was scraggly and all long and shit.
Yeah, no, it's sharp, man. Got to keep it looking good, man. That's what people don't understand. There's a fine line between looking good and looking like a bum.
Okay, let's see. Do you know D's? D's what? D's nuts?
D's fucking nuts.
He actually thought he would get us with that. Come on, man. JH, how long you been an artist? I had no idea you spit fire. I've been writing since I was 10 years old. Hip hop since I was 15. Why has it taken so long to declare Evergrande's default?
I mean, if you were one of these prime brokers or market makers that rules the New York Stock Exchange, the world financial system, would you not tell your mainstream media that works beneath you that you own to not say anything bad about their Evergrande situation? Would you continue to accept their collateral from every other market maker, hedge fund, and bank because they all own it? Or would you just all go down with the ship together and collectively, as a gigantic group of the richest people on earth, just throw your hands up and say, okay, we give up, we're bankrupt?
There we go. This is from Trey's eye patch.
Oh yeah. So what did I miss?
This one's for Pam.
I couldn't hear it while I was over in the laundry room. Did I miss anything good?
Being awesome to the community. Wish you guys
After this squeeze.
hell yeah.
Let's see. Will AMC really squeeze? I believe so.
No.
I'll say hi to you from Pluto. I'll wave, but you probably won't see me.
It's funny because even the naysayers, they got shares just in case this thing blows up.
They're waiting to see what
All
it
right.
does so they can hop in.
Well, we'll go off there. Yeah, they represent the marijuana influenced sector of the ape community. They're oh God. Of course, go figure. I miss them talking really dumb. There's really not. I'm gonna have to look at something here. I'm gonna have to. I don't have to, but I'm curious because I haven't listened to this kid in a while.
Hey guys, hope you're all having an amazing weekend. We are about to begin another week, and I am making this video to prepare you for what to expect. Though I expect the markets to slowly consolidate and start rallying up now that most of the earnings are out and now that we have all the important economic data along with the Fed's statements, there is still a possibility that Wall Street could see some corrections in the future, and I want to talk about why I think this is. Before we start, let me quickly state that I am not a financial advisor, and that all content discussed in this channel is simply information.
If a financial advisor used a fucking text-to-speech,
so that they can make informed decisions. All efforts are aimed to better understand the nature of the current market in anticipation of the greatest squeeze in financial history. Let's get started. Let me begin by saying that we were right. This wasn't a market crash, nowhere near close, and everyone who was hyping the crash was just trying to get clicks.
What if it's not? What if it hasn't ended yet? Oh my
months
God.
ago actually, that what we were going to experience was a correction, a dip from the highs as some economic shocks took place, but that upward momentum was not going to be halted. The markets are bullish. Investors have no fear of a bear market, and people want to buy the dip now more than ever, not only on meme stocks, but on all assets and securities. Volatility is normal, and corrections, which are defined as a 10% pullback from a recent high, are very normal occurrences. The Dow Jones and the S&P 500 both doped into correction territory last month, but Friday they moved aggressively up, now only being 5 to 7% away from their record highs. Nasdaq, which is the index that is loaded with tech companies, still remains in correction territory, as it is 14% below its peak. Tech is dominant in the stock market, and the recent earnings and sell-offs of stocks have left the market in shambles. The VIX, which is measure of market volatility, is over 50% so far this year, showing signs of fear in Wall Street. However, this does not mean that there is anticipation for an even bigger pullback in the market. Some people are saying we are about to head into a full-blown bear market, which is defined as when stocks fall more than 20%, and retail traders have been making videos teasing a full-blown market crash about to happen, trying to get their audience to prepare for MOIS by throwing all they have immediately into meme stocks. The distasteful display of carelessness about people's well-being for the sake of clicks is sadly a far too common trait among YouTubers. Here's what I think is more likely to happen. Corrections are temporary, very short-term in other words. The added volatility that is being shown by the VIX does not in any way signal that stocks are about to sink deeper into a full-on bear market or even a crash which will usher in a recession. Though I think a recession is indeed coming, this is not the beginning of it. This is...
Oh yeah? Okay, alright. Okay.
Just the up and down of an investment cycle.
I mean, how many crashes have you traded through? S&T? Seriously. How do you fucking know?
It's part of the phase of the markets which will continue to happen so long as markets
Sick of these new investors.
The pullback we have seen is normal by all measurable ways.
Talking like they understand a fucking market crash.
It is different and could offset markets. Portfolio managers, institutions and investors are all incredibly bullish about the market right now, and though inflation right now sucks, it is expected for it to start cooling off as the year progresses. It's important to set expectations for market behavior as grounded in reality as possible instead of hyping things up to be something they are not. Be careful and diligent with your investments. Make the right decisions by studying and reading up as much as possible so you can be well informed.
Correct.
Anyone screaming
the Fed
is trying to hype you into an illusion.
They are not going to reverse themselves on this.
Stay firm. Buy as you can.
I do not think that they will.
Don't let anyone push you or guilt you into anything, and especially YouTubers. I want to take a moment and talk about Facebook and Wall Street, because even though this is a GME and AMC channel, I think what just happened with the Meta company has the potential to bring some changes to the markets which will of course impact GameStop and AMC. It's been a long time since I saw a company drop the way Facebook did. Netflix fell off pretty bad, but Facebook, the largest...
It was a historic drop.
Social media tech, once beholden as one of the greatest triumphs of Silicon Valley, experienced a sell-off so vast that it makes me wonder if it will even have the capacity to make a comeback. Facebook is incredibly unpopular among people, with many citing the lack of moral accountability displayed by its founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg. I personally found their attempt to rebrand as Meta to be part of a subtle way to create the illusion that Facebook has something bigger on their sleeves and create some hope among investors, who one way or another, were eventually going to find out that Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram are not growing like they once used to. Mark Zuckerberg knew this and created Meta as a way to offset this reality by create the illusion that Meta will be the next big thing, but I digress. There is good reason to believe that the meltdown that tech stocks have been experiencing is just the beginning of changes that will continue to progress as a result of the Fed's decision to end the prolonged era of free money and easy borrowing. I actually hinted at this in a previous video last week, that with the end of easy borrowing will bring a realization to the stock market. You see, with the Fed's signal that higher interest rates are coming on March...
So the markets are bullish, it's going to keep going up, but, you know, they're not going to... Like, what is the... This is so confused, it's all over the place. What is he trying to say?
Have begun preparing themselves by starting to cut portfolio exposure to the priciest stocks they believe to be well overvalued in favor of investments for companies that tend to be more defensive and stable, at least while the economy adjusts to the upcoming changes. Remember, the Fed has adjusting a lot of their policies in order to insulate the economy from the worst effects brought about by the pandemic in order to prevent a recession. Therefore, they have been flooding the markets with tons of cash, holding
when
the
was that?
I forget.
And
purchasing trillions of...
I forget when that was. I remember it, but 2012. Okay, yeah. See, I had just met my ex-wife. I had just met my ex-wife right around then, so I was preoccupied. But I do remember when that happened, and it was a big deal. But it was $38 a share originally at the IPO. FYI.
dollars in mortgage-backed and government securities. The companies that benefited the most out of this were the titanic tech giants in Silicon Valley, who saw their stock inflate beyond any reason. Now that the economy is solidifying itself, delivering a very robust job report last week, the Fed is feeling more confident about its ability to stand strong and survive higher interest rates.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons and driving factors behind the volatility. Investors know this, especially big money in Wall Street, which is why Facebook crashed the way it did, losing $240 billion in a couple of hours while Amazon rallied stronger than ever. Investors are simply choosing now to switch their strategies to better fit the changes that will be brought about. The pricing of risk is changing, as Roger McNamee said. Investors loved Amazon's performance, and their announcement to hike up prices for Prime memberships will help it strengthen over time. However, for other big tech companies like Facebook, who saw flattening user numbers, it puts them in a very vulnerable position.
I thought that. Now I don't know if that's a correct sequence of events there on Amazon, because I don't think it was. Because I thought the stock crashed, and then there were earnings. And let's see, the earnings was like a mixed, I forget exactly, like it was a mixed kind of thing. Like maybe revenue was up, but so were expenses or something like that. I forget exactly, but it was a mixed earnings. And then after that, they raised the Prime membership. And then the stock shot back up. That's what I thought. I thought that was a sequence of events there. So it was like a recovery kind of thing. Like they waited until after they had their shitty earning, their lukewarm earnings, let's call it that, to raise the price of Amazon Prime. But anyway, more sense.
Facebook will not be the last casualty of this financial switch, as the climate spells more trouble for many other companies. You see, the pandemic was good for companies that are tied to the internet, but as signs of the new variant ease off, the massive growth of internet companies is going to start leveling off. The higher expectations set by investors will be harder to meet. A company like Facebook faces many changes that make it very unappealing. First, Apple made their phones more restrictive, blocking Facebook's ability to spy on people. Furthermore, new tech companies are growing. TikTok has become the hottest online fixture, with teens preferring to log into the social network over Instagram. Many other companies are experiencing massive drop-offs. Netflix is having a hard time retaining users and growing them, especially with Disney Plus stealing millions of people over. Spotify is experiencing slower growth as well, as there are not many competitors that are shedding off some of their user base. Fintech companies like PayPal lost 24% of its market cap in one day after earnings fell. Only the biggest of the biggest, Microsoft,
is PayPal
Apple, Amazon,
really
and Google,
a fintech
came out
company?
unharmed, but even they could face turbulent periods in coming months as well.
There it is, right there.
The Fed's tightening has been bad news for stocks historically speaking. The liquidity provided by them that allowed investors to make more speculative bets is now gone. Investors are switching investments over to banks and energy for future growth. We are in a U-turn, so to speak, as Ed Yardeni said, and though we are not going to experience a market crash this week or next month, it does not mean that things are going to be on a steep
You don't
incline.
fucking know that.
Changes
Watch it crash
and will
tomorrow.
Continue to shift as the
Hope
economy
it
and
crashes
markets
tomorrow
adjust to
and
the
he
changes that will
loses
be
all
brought
his
about
money.
by the interest hike. This is good news for me at
57%.
least, because it means GME and AMC are going to be cheap for a longer time period than expected. GameStop had a huge announcement this past week with their new partnership with nOoDlEs, and we are still waiting a public announcement of a partnership with Loopring, though it's already official as it was disclosed in their SEC 8K filing. AMC has not announced anything big at the moment. As such, this week I don't expect big news from either company aside from the potential for GameStop to announce their Loopring partnership, which I think is unlikely to happen yet. Let's talk about this week. AMC had a strong performance earlier in last week, but as the week continued, it shed off much of its gains. It is at a pivotal point, where it seems poised to test 15.85. If it breaks above that, it is like for it to run to 17 and maybe even 19. I want to
About
see consolidation
40%
above
in the
16
COVID
before
crash.
Wednesday, or else I believe it more likely for us to sink down. AMC has its strongest support at 13.70, and then has more at 13.40. I hope we don't get hit below 14 this week, but I am open to all possibilities. I think the biggest factor contributing to how we trade will be overall market.
I don't think that's right either. There's hardly any support down. I don't have my TD Ameritrade open, but %, roughly. PayPal as a payment platform is not going anywhere. I mean, I use PayPal from time to time. I know that there's some, I don't want to say controversy, but Maybe it was controversy or something about PayPal. I remember seeing some people talk about, but a lot of people use Cash App now. A lot of people use Cash App. When I was running my small business several years back, around 2012, as a matter of fact, I used Square to accept credit cards, and that was pretty cool. And then there was, what's the other one? Venmo. So some people would use Venmo, and then actually a friend of mine recently, I had to pay him for something, and he said, "Do you have Plaid? Do you have, or no, not Plaid. Do you have Zelle? Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E." And I said, "Actually, I do have Zelle because my bank has Zelle incorporated into the app for it." So I sent him some money on Zelle, which I've never done before. So there's a million of them. They're all the same, pretty much. I mean, some of them have a fee if you want your money instantly. But I think I am going to open up Thinkorswim real quick here. But I don't think PayPal will go anywhere because they're so integrated. I believe they're still integrated with eBay, right? And that reminds me, I need to check something on eBay. Selling. But get logged in here to this and see if we can see any indication of that. So Afterpay, what's the other one? Affirm, is Affirm something like that? Last night, Chilo spent a few hours studying Moaz Qassam and Anson Funds Part 2, Rotten to the Core, not directly related to AMC, but still interesting. Yeah? Sounds interesting. Don't know much about it. But it sounds like something I would watch or learn about or listen to or what have you. Okay. PayPal owns Venmo. Okay. And who owns Square? Is that Twitter? Doesn't Twitter own Square? Is that still the case? Yeah. Good. Great video there.
Below for PayPal and Cash App for one-time donations, and my Patreon is there if you really want
to spoil speaking of which,
enjoy the rest of your day and to the moon.
Enjoy the rest of your day and to the moon. Cool. Yeah, to the moon. To the fucking moon. Do you guys remember that song? I think it was played on TMI's stream. Somebody made a song, a rap song, or R&B song or whatever. And it was like, to the fucking moon. It was terrible. It was terrible. Speaking of terrible, internet connection here. So, Tony, I just noticed Tony DeNaro's live stream was all AMC content creators welcome, open discussion of topical issues. I mean, surely he didn't mean that I was invited. I mean, I'm never going to assume that I'm invited to his live streams or his channel in general. I'm just not going to do that. AMC stock, they just destroyed everything. Oh, Claybro's talking price targets. Jesus Christ. AMC stock, they just sold everything. Who are they? Man. Let's see. No Maverick of Wall Street video yet. Man. Oh, what about oh, so that video, let's see, that video that I saw earlier, I think you sent it, Manuel, right? This one was from 2 weeks ago. So he has new content from after that. Interesting. I didn't look at it yet. The Kitty Show starring the misinformed investor and Shart the Vix. Shart the Vix. Let's see what he said on Tuesday, this guy.
Before the market opens, I just want to say something. Thanks to everyone who paid my long stay motel bill for the month of January. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you.
So what's going on today, guys? Oh, we're getting closer and closer to that $12 target I've been talking about. We're winning, fellas. We're winning. Look at it. Oh, we're getting close, man. We're about to save the day. To all the AMC apes, I really appreciate you. You guys saved my company from bankruptcy. And you allowed me to sell shares at $40. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You guys really saved the day. Like taps. Could you give me another $1? I need. Hey, lady, why is your dog wearing a sweater? Go get the man. Oh, I'm so mad at the peoples. Oh, New York. So how are those not a financial advices working out for you?
Yeah, see, it's time for something a little different.
If I'm talking shit about Matt, it's time to talk shit about Trey. You've been taking stock advice from this guy? You gotta be kidding me, man. Seriously. General rule of stock trading on YouTube. Make sure the guy you're taking advice from doesn't live in a fucking trailer or motel. They can't pay their rent. They have no financial backing. They might have your super chat cash, but they don't have anything else. In another year, these guys, you don't even know who they are. All they've done is pump their portfolios with your cash. That's all they've done. Matt lived in a basement until he lived in a motel. Trey's been all over the country doing his heart complication surgeries or what have you. They really don't have any money. They're riding on the coattails of your money.
So these are like, short TikTok style videos. This is the video I watched earlier. This is video from earlier.
Matt Kors, you really don't know who you're fucking with. You spent the past greater year hyping everybody. You, Trey, all the other fucking assholes. This was a fucking pump and dump. You don't even know what the fuck you did. You don't even realize you did. And if you do realize it, you're a fucking asshole, because you know you did. They're coming for you. You better stay out of Philly. You couldn't even tell anyone what a fucking cheesesteak tastes like, because you don't know. All right? You can't even pay your own fucking rent. Now you live in a motel, you scum fuck. Yeah, we're going to come and get you. Don't worry about that. You just lost everybody thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, you got paid $500,000 this year from Super Chats. You scum fuck.
AMC Bigums is live streaming. Oh, let's see what this fucking smartass has to say. This guy's such a weenie too.
The way this is all set up is the banks.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I'm a Jew who lives in the suburbs. Oh God. Oh, better not go any farther with that. I'll get my ass kicked off here. Boy, the Hedgies are really fucking with my stream speed. All right, so let's go over to the platform. Let's go over here. Fuck it. What I want to look at was look at AMC, of course. What else is there to look at? At daily. And put on this volume profile, so we can see what's where. Okay. So looks like we got something here at 13. No, yeah, 13. Let's call it 1375. And we got a lot in there in the 13 to 14 range, and then it jumps down to like 10, 8, 879, 9, and 575. So I would say based on this, just based on this, in all likelihood, it's probably, I would say it's probably just going to go sideways for a while now, or slide down to 10. I don't know what the indicators look like. I mean, it looks like it is curling up, but who knows? See, now on the 4 hour, everything's above that. On the 4 hour, everything's above it, but it also only goes back to, looks like May. Yes, last week of May maybe. So it's not catching stuff from a year ago. So it's only got the higher price action in that volume profile. If you go to 2 years, right there again, around 10, 9, and 375. So just looking at those levels where there's a lot of volume, identifying as, you know, potential support levels. Went back into 2019 when you had dividends then. 20-cent dividend. Sweet. 20-cent dividends. The stock price was under $10, or certainly under $20. So closer. 5-day, 15-minute. This is consolidatory signaling. I mean, a lot of this is even, but, oh, you know, one thing too, since we're just talking about this stupid analysis. So I saw this earlier. Here's some hopium for all in this play. Hold on for dear life, investors. So they've got 2021 and the run up here, and then they got 2022 and like right now. So they're calling attention to the fact that that didn't work. They're calling attention to the fact that they've got, what do they have here? They got RSI. I don't know what the other one is. Anyway, they've got, of course, they don't label them. They don't have them labeled. So one of these is the RSI, and one of them is something else. But maybe MACD, moving averages, maybe. So they're showing right before the run up. Or actually, this is the GameStop squeeze area, not the run up, June run up. So this is the end of January 2021 here. So about a year ago. They're showing that this crossed over and then shot up, and the price shot up, and they're showing that this RSI on the bottom. No, the top one would be RSI, and the bottom one, I believe, is the MACD, just the MACD lines, that it crossed over and shot up, and then the price shot up. And so they're showing over here now that this RSI crossed over, and that the MACD also crossed over, and that it's going to shoot. Now, the insinuation is it's going to shoot up the same way now. And you see similar things in the, I mean, well, not really. You don't really see the same things in the moving average lines up here, because this I guess orange one right here would be the short term, the shortest term moving average, and it's crossed over the middle time frame one, I believe. Or maybe, it's hard to tell because they're not fucking labeled. But anyway, they're not positioned the same way. They're not positioned the same way. And they do have like a buy sell indicator thing here, so it's like that's a sell signal, that's a buy signal, and it's just going off of these crosses. So you see the same thing here now. But what they fail to mention, even though they put it on this chart, which is funny to me, is that you had the same exact cross happen here. So this is like the end of, I guess, like last December 2021. You had this RSI cross and go up, and there was a buy signal, and at the same point, this MACD moving average deal down here also crossed over, so it generated a buy signal, but then it fucking failed and went back down. So what makes you think that this next one is going to be any different? Like, and why would you have this one on here if you're trying to show that it's like last year, even though there was a failed signal just a couple months ago? Like, that's hopium? That's some fucking weak shit to me, but where is he? Where did he go?
Guys can see, look at these. Like, they're not
God, he's talking about fucking fire sprinklers.
Oh, God, dude. You would just see water coming out everywhere. Like, this stuff's funny.
You would just see water coming out everywhere. I don't know anything about fire sprinklers. I live with my parents in the suburbs, but, okay.
They have state-of-the-art fire protection and stuff.
God, I hate, people like this are so fucking annoying. Like, people that think that they know everything because they can Google it, and they can look at pictures of fire sprinklers, and that they know how the shit works. Not to mention, that is something that you have to be licensed to work in. It's a trade that you have to be licensed in. I know because I have a friend who used to be a plumber, pipe fitter, and he used to do sprinklers. And yeah, and I have another friend who works for a company one of the major companies that deals with fire protection stuff. So, not that I know anything about it, but like I would never talk to either of those people about it and pretend like I would ask them questions about it, but I would never. It's just it's entitled ass fucking. He's gonna figure it out here.
Here you go. We provide climate controlled. So you remember what I was talking about? How they have that thing where if you leave a door open too long, there's these sensors that will go off. Like if anything changes. Hold on, we might find the name of this, and I can show you the name of this. Where is it? It's fucking.
Yeah, so like, again, like, shit happens. Obviously, anomalies happen, accidents happen, systems fail. I mean, otherwise, there would be no forensic engineers, there would be no arson investigators, there would be no detectives, there would be no, investigators. So yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy that would happen. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I'm just not inclined to go any further with this. I don't really care. I don't really care about that. It's a fool's errand. You're not going to find. Number one, you're not going to find anything. You're not going to find the smoking gun online when this guy on a Reddit here literally emailed the fire chief, and the fire chief here, right here, this guy spoke with the fire chief, and of course there were hidden clues. I mean, fuck off with your goddamn hidden clues. There's no hidden clues. But, the fire chief basically said, yeah, we're investigating it. We don't know what caused it yet, and you shouldn't listen to shit on social media. But there's hidden clues in there. Or maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's nothing. Is it true that the algorithms will be off starting tomorrow? Is it true? Really? Who said that? Did Lou say that? Oh, the algos are off tomorrow. That's the exact response that I... I mean... Oh, they didn't put in my favorite one. The one I use all the time. I got you here. This guy from what is that? Spider-Man or something? That would have been my contribution to that thread. Anyway. Yeah. Algo's turned off. I mean, yeah, so the market makers are going to just, you know, go back to using paper. They're going to start filling in orders on paper tomorrow. I love how people are, and nobody can figure out if the rules go into effect immediately or whether it's 30 days or 60 days. The algorithm never turns off. And that's how the entire automated trading system runs. So yeah, everything's electronic. But there's not one algorithm. You know, Citadel has a system. Market makers have a system. You know, and then the market, the exchange. Well, so those trades that happen off exchange, like in Citadel's matching system, that's an algorithm that matches the orders, and then they get reported to like the TRF, and that's how they get reported to the time and sales or the consolidated tape. So those orders get reported, and they get, you know, reported in a timely manner. They have to be under regulation, FINRA regulation. And then the exchange market makers would have their, you know, matching system as well, but then the consolidated tape aggregates them. So you have different order books in different places that are you know, matching orders that would all be running, you know, their proprietary systems. That's why, you know, I think it's foolish when these guys like Astro and that one other guy that somebody told me to look into, I forget his name, but I think he was an ex-cop, or the common sense investor, talking about cycles and stuff like that, cycle theory, figuring out the algo. You know, you didn't figure, there's no overall algo. You can't, that's not how it works. Like, it's not like there's one master plan, I don't believe. Anyway, yeah, this is dumb. Floor 1.4 million. Okay, right. Cool. Working on paper in the digital age. Well, that's probably what was in that TD Ameritrade storage warehouse. It was probably all the paper slips from the orders. If you don't like what Lou has to say, have you tried not watching his videos? A lot of you are obviously paranoid and are the type to yell shill at anyone who says something you don't like. Ooh, yeah. That's what I do. And, well, if you don't like Lou and think he's a shill, then don't watch him. He could be wrong or he could be right. Nobody knows, just like nobody can guarantee that this will hit 100K, 500K, or 1 million, or $100, or $50, or $40, or $20. Not seeing a lot about Ape Andy on here. It's kind of odd. Maybe they banned all talk about that. See what the apes don't understand about sprinkler systems. And they don't have to have these type. They do not have to have this. So they could have the early response, the whatever it was called, the acronym. I looked at it in another video, but those will be on the ceiling, or up here, in lieu of these rack-mounted sprinklers, and they're higher flow sprinklers. But anyway, fire sprinklers only work to a certain point. When the fire gets too big for those to handle, they're not effective in controlling the fire. Like, they're not designed to put out a fire alone. Like, really, like, they're designed to activate in the area where there is a fire and try, provide some protection, try to knock it down until the fire department gets there, and then they can take care of it manually with their hoses. And that's what happened here, from what I understand. Now, problem was, like, if you've ever watched Rescue Me, I know people watch Rescue Me. Sometimes shit goes wrong. Sometimes it's too low visibility with smoke, or dangerous for whatever reason, from fire, heat, smoke, carbon monoxide, that they have to back out and go defensive. So they're not actively fighting it. They're just basically, they're not going on the offensive towards the fire. They're just, managing what they can from a distance. And they're basically just going to let it burn out. And they do that. So I had another friend of mine who was a firefighter. He had his fire card, and he got it when we were roommates, and that's when he got into it. And I have a history of listening to police and fire scanners, so I've kind of been an enthusiast in that stuff. So I know a little bit about law enforcement and fire EMS operations. I'm not an expert, never worked in the field, but I was curious about it to learn a little bit, and chased a little. Definitely went to a couple scenes and saw some action just from a distance. Time for an ape, Father? Really? Okay. Oh, that one. We'll get there. We'll see what he posted most recently first. Look at all these videos. Look at all these videos from today. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 videos in the last 23 hours. Huh. Wow. GIMP for real? GIMP for real. Tendy time. Phil for real. This is short.
This video is not financial advice. I am not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. The one, the only ape father in the house, baby. Wow! Okay, so I just wanted to make a quick video. People keep saying, Lou's gonna sue you, Lou's gonna sue you. Let him sue me. He's not gonna win, okay, if he did sue me, okay? But let me tell you a very small thing that I got on Lou. And there's a lot more, but I'm gonna give you an example if he wants to mess with the ape father. Okay, whether you want to believe this or not, Lou was in fact arrested for fraud. He was. I understand that you love the guy. You love him more than friggin'
Oh, we know that. That's old news, buddy.
He's like the greatest thing in the world. But despite the fact that you love him, he was charged with fraud. He robbed $73,000 from senior citizens. The judge ordered him to pay back a restitution of $73,000. He told the judge he had no money. Okay, he could not afford interest on the $73,000. He also, okay, are you ready? Was charged with 3 years supervision where he has to live with his mom in New York. Okay, so we all know that Lou is making money on YouTube. Okay, he, you know, according to my due diligence, Lou has made over $200,000 on YouTube. Here's the thing I find interesting. Again, it's alleged because I can't prove it. There's no way I can know, but his case is still open. There's a very strong possibility he did not pay back this restitution. Okay, so if the courts find out that this guy's making over $200,000 on YouTube, like for instance, he put
actually, that's actually a good point. I hate to say this, but he's probably right about that. Like, if his case is still open, which you should be able to see on the clerk of court's website for wherever, you know, it was the jurisdiction it was in. I mean, he would have to be reporting that income too on his taxes, I would hope. Well, a guy like that, you never know. But yeah, if he indeed made 200 grand, my court might be interested in knowing about that.
Someone else's name, his YouTube channel. It's not in his name. It's in somebody else's name. Just like his AMC shares could be in someone else's name. Okay, this is a direct conflict against the court. Don't you understand? Go back to jail. If they find out
go back to jail
in someone else's name, if they find out that he's making over $200,000 on YouTube and someone else's,
why do we never see Lou's ankles? Because he's wearing an ankle monitor. You know he is. He's wearing a GPS monitor. You never see his feet. Clearly, the dude is on, you know, house arrest or something. I think they're both clowns. I think both of these guys are clowns. But anymore, like, Ape Father is more entertaining than Lou, because Lou is just a broken record. Like, oh, we won. The play is over. You know, here's the brackets. Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just, there's nothing really. Yeah. Now, Ape Father, he turned down $1 million. Somebody came to his door with a Howie Mandel briefcase full of cash, and he did not take the deal. He said, no deal. I'm not doing it. And I'm with Big Man on that. I'm with Big Man on that one. I'll take that motherfucking money. Take that motherfucking money.
His name? I mean, this is why I don't think the guy is so bright. And now he's trying to, here's another thing. He's got a website where he wants to sell books. I mean, you know, Lou, I hope you paid back that $73,000 to restitution. Because if you didn't, you are the
he's such a drama queen. Like, drama queen. Lou, I hope you paid. I mean, let's do that real quick here. It's my new favorite YouTuber.
This is your man, Big Man Speak. Let me say one thing. This not finance advice. This for entertainment purpose only. Let's talk about AMC. Let me say one thing. Hey, father, what's up? You say you turned down over $1 million. You said the man knock on your door with a case of money, and we're gonna give you over $1 million, and you turn him down. You is a lying motherfucker. Let somebody knock on my motherfucking door.
Whoop.
Aired.
I'm gonna take that shit. I'm gonna say God bless and thank you. I'm gonna take that motherfucking money. You know? Cause that AMC stock not gonna go up that much any damn way. You could have took that $1 million and then took like $300,000 and invest in some good company, not that bullshit AMC thing you gonna go to the moon. You could have took that $300,000 and tripled that. I don't believe you, man. You turned down that money. I believe you lying. Just like I heard that Lou say he turned down some major money too. Over $1 million something. Y'all motherfucker is lying. Lying. I don't believe that shit. Tell it to somebody else that don't know shit. If somebody want to give me $1 million, I'ma take it. I'ma take it because I know that AMC stock not gonna go that much anyway. Ain't gonna go that much anyway. The earning report come out in March. It might get to $30, $35, $40 again. And gonna be forming buyers try to buy the fear of missing out. But this stock ain't gonna go to the moon. The SEC not gonna do nothing about it. It's gonna be the same old shit. Same old shit. They talking, but ain't gonna be no action. They got friends. They are big players in the game. So it is what it is. But hey, father, I got to call you out, man. You lying about that man knocking on your door and gonna give you over $1 million. I would took that money. I would took that money. Fuck AMC. People, you gotta realize one thing. You gotta look out for yourself. Everybody is for theyself. You know? Let somebody knock on your door. Offer you $1 million.
I mean,
are you gonna take the money or you gonna say fuck it?
I'm taking the fucking money.
People be lying.
Yep.
People be lying. Lying. I would took that money. Let's fuck up.
Let's fuck up.
Try to make that stock go up.
I gotta run over and check my laundry real quick. I'm gonna let this play.
That motherfucker haven't reached $20 yet. But this is merry-go-round. Look at all my videos. I talk about it. And give me a thumb up, people. Because big man speak, tell it like it is. I keep it real. I keep it real. Wall Street is like gangsters. They're like gangsters. Most of the YouTubers is lying. Only thing they want your click. So they don't make money. Yep. Hey, Far, you should have told that damn lie. People knock on your door. It's a damn lie, brother. It's a damn lie. You lying. Offer you over $1 million something and you'll turn down? You're a lying motherfucker. You lying. Lou lying, said talk about people offer him money, some main banks offer him over $1 million something.
You lying motherfucker.
Is lying. But I don't give a fuck you lied though. It's funny to me.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Funny to me is a game. It's a game. Keep it real with people. Tell the people the truth. And you probably sold more than 500 shares. You sold some of them motherfuckers. Show your portfolio, brother. Show people how many shares you got.
Yeah.
Show it. I believe you sold
None of
more
these
than
AMC
500
pumpers
shares.
do.
Show your portfolio, brother. Let people see it. AMC not going to the motherfucking moon. But it will go up again. And when it get past $20, I'm cashing out. It get to $30, $40, get about $40, maybe in March or April. It get to like $40, $50. I'm gonna do a dance for y'all. That gonna be the money dance. Big Man Speak gonna do a dance for y'all. Let that motherfucker stock go to $40, $50. I'm a party. Me and my wife gonna have a good time. We gonna have a good time, AMC. And I'm gonna say, thank you, AMC. Yep. Those motherfucking option contract gonna go to the motherfucker moon. Gonna go to the motherfucker moon. Yeah. They gonna go to the motherfucking moon.
Come on now. Come on now. Going to the motherfucker moon. Come on. Is this no, it's not Russia tonight. Oh.
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package.
Russia doesn't like Oprah. Oh, I gotta figure this out. Fuck you, Hedgies. I mean, this is low quality video. Why is it taking so fucking long to load? That's ridiculous. He probably did buy Leaps. I have a feeling he's not buying those short-dated pieces of shit. Come on now. God damn. I mean, I lost the effect. I lost the whole effect now because it's fucking the. Well, fuck you, Oprah. Jesus. Wow, okay. Oh.
Yeah. But people don't listen to people say they knock on my door. They had a suitcase. They were wearing a suit and tie. Offered me over $1 million something dollars. You a lying motherfucker. Motherfucker gonna knock on my door. I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna say thank you. What you want me to do? I take that money and get off YouTube. You won't never hear from me again.
Amen.
If you want to give me $1 million, holler at me. I tell you all. Yep. Call me anything. A motherfucker snitch. Who give a fuck? AMC not going to the motherfucking moon. Hey, far not telling your lies out here.
AMC not going to the motherfucking moon. That's the best quote from this.
Not telling your lies. but you got off me a lot of fucking money. Y'all two motherfuckers is working together now. I just figured out y'all working
Somebody laughing in the background.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Get ready for the market Monday. Yeah. Find you good companies. And this the time.
Invest in good companies. No, we like stonks. We want the stonks. And this is another special request. This black screen here with the circle by request from Douchebank.
Everybody in the movie theater. You can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible! But what you can do...
Oh my God.
Possible! But what you can do is buy AMC stock. Millions coming, baby. AMC stock. You want to be a millionaire? AMC, I'm an ape. They call me the ape father, baby. You can't kill Michael Myers, but you can become a multi-millionaire, baby. AMC in the house. Wow!
God.
I'm gonna scare everybody in the movie theater. You can't kill Michael Myers! It's impossible! But what you can do is buy AMC stock. Millions coming.
Millions.
AMC stock. You want to be a millionaire? AMC, I'm an ape. They call me the ape father, baby. You can't kill Michael Myers, but you can become a multi-millionaire, baby. AMC in the house. Wow!
I love how he just goes back to a straight face too. He just goes back to a fucking straight face. Like that's a sign of a psychopath right there. Oh man. So let's take a look here at this. I'm an ape. I'm an ape, baby. They call me the ape father. They call me the ape father, baby. What you can do. What you can do is. I got problems here. I got problems here. I don't know what the deal is, but I've got problems. I don't even have that many tabs open. I really don't. I'm an ape, baby. They call me an ape. They call me the ape father. If you don't like Lou, don't watch his videos. If you don't like the ape father, still watch his videos because they're funny. I love this fucking. I love that dump at the end of Friday there. And a bunch of sideways ass shit before that. Thursday. Here's something. What is the purpose of the pre-market and aftermarket? Have you ever thought about this? What in hell is the purpose of this? What a joke. The market should be open at a specific time and it should close at a specific time. This time frame is when the algos execute the fuckery. SEC should eliminate pre-market and after hours to level the playing field. Apes, we only have each other, and look what we have been able to achieve. We can do much more. Start asking questions. Start emailing SEC. Ask questions. Make noise. Bring attention to this, as it's a big piece of the puzzle in this corrupt casino. Eliminate pre-market and after hours. And then there was another one I saw. Another one I saw a couple days ago that was, why do we need, what is the purpose of the stock exchange if 90 to 95% of the orders are off exchange? Why do we need a stock exchange? They're asking the tough questions. Need to eliminate algorithmic trading too. Thought I saw a post that there was a rule about this. Not really. Rookies say anything. Learn to trade first. Then you'll appreciate extended hours. And then here it is right here. I don't want to learn to trade. I just want my tendies so I can get off this ride. And that sums it up right there. I don't want to learn to trade. I just want my tendies. I just want my motherfucking tendies. Yeah. That's it. Why worry about pre-market if all you need to do is buy and hold? Yeah. Good point. You don't need to worry about it. The DD is done. Buy and hold is it. Agree, it's an entirely senseless complication that only serves to enable the big players to continue to have unfair advantages over retail investors. I mean, yes, they're always going to have unfair advantages because they have money and you don't. So, if you want to have, an equal playing field, go get a bunch of fucking money. Then it'll be equal. But short of that, I don't understand why. I don't understand this. It's the typical ape thing of, let's focus on everything other than shit that I can control. Let's focus on all this external bullshit. When in reality, the reason you're losing money, the reason you lost money, the reason you're not profitable, not the reason you're not rich, but the reason that you are not winning 55% of the time on your trades, is because you've been focusing on shit that is irrelevant to your ability to make money. So, would it be weird if we all bought a share at the end of day on Friday? Would it be weird? It'd be weird if I keep the poor people away from the market till certain times. You ever notice that big moves happen pre and post markets? Is that a coincidence? No, because from Trey Collins we learned there are no coincidences. No, but most people have access to only 9:30 to 4, and the other hours are for the big boys who know what they're doing. Okay. Here's everything that needs to go. Oh, this is great. No dark pools, no pre-market, no after hours, no use of algorithms, no high frequency trading, no bailouts, no private meetings, no waiting for funds to be available, no petty fines, jail time, and compensation for victims. All trading should be done by a person. This will level the playing field. Then let's see just how damn good these stock experts are at investing. I mean, it would be a lot different. It would be a lot different. It wouldn't be better. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be better. You wouldn't see your orders get filled instantaneously at a price that you pretty much, have control over. So, algorithms, high frequency trading probably needs to be regulated more, but payment for order flow probably needs to be tightened up. But at the end of the day, does it really negatively affect retail? I don't know. Not to the degree that the apes believe. I'm pretty confident in that. Dark pools, doesn't really matter when you have a national best bid and offer. You have a price that you have a minimum price, so it's the same everywhere, dark pool or not. So the only thing is you don't see the order book. You submit it and it just gets filled. So it really, it's really blown out of proportion, essentially, in my opinion. I'm okay with 100,000 a share. I just wanted to say I'm okay with 100,000 per share. I have 200 right now, which would be 20 million USD. That's 25.5 million Canadian dollars, Canadian pesos. That's enough money for me and my wife to retire, and we could give money to both our parents, and they could retire as well. I can buy a bunch of property and start my own business and work when I want. Take 3 vacations a year and just stop the rat race. All this talk of 1.4 million per share is the floor just seems crazy to me. Yeah, let's go back to trading in the phone and checking prices in the newspaper the next day. And if you're really slick, like Ken Griffin was, you can put a satellite dish on your roof and you can get stock quotes from the satellite. And then you can call in to your broker on your landline telephone. And if you're really fancy, you have a cordless phone. And you can be in the bathroom trading stocks. But I think, if we do that, if we go back to checking prices in the newspaper, and slow everything down, that will level the playing field. It'll make it so Wall Street can't do the fuckery. Oh, wait a minute. No. I mean, if you know how to trade, the market is pretty amazing, actually. I mean, nobody wins all the time. You're going to lose some, but I mean, think about it. There's an app you can download on your phone, and you can transfer, a small amount of money, a couple $100 into it. And if you work hard at it and have rules and follow the rules and try to be objective and not get greedy, that $200 will grow into more money in kind of a short time. It's pretty cool. And not only is there one app, there's multiple apps. I don't know. I'm obviously a hedgie, so I have I have predispositions to you know, preserve the market structure the way it is because it's good for me. Law firms are scared of China. Dr. Metzler would like us to help find a firm to file an already prepared bankruptcy petition in the Cayman Islands. 2 have already bailed out or probably bought out. Apes, we are living in the greatest financial crime story ever written, and it's far from complete. Dr. Metzler would like us to help find a firm to file an already prepared bankruptcy petition in the Cayman Islands. Why does Dr. Metzler need Apes to help find a lawyer? It makes no sense. I don't know about this guy. I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical of that. I remember before the last run-up in May, June 21, Apes were posting DD about how AMC kept closing higher and higher for many Fridays straight. I don't want to jinx it, but AMC has had 2 straight Fridays where we keep increasing in value. I have faith in AMC movement, and the shorts have not covered. Even if it is a red week this week, Apes not leaving, hold the line. But if it's a green week, then I think we might be onto something rolling in our favor. Okay. Oh, Friday 128, 1506. Friday 24, 1535. Sweet. 29 cents higher. Friday 211, question mark. I miss the days when you had to pay $5 to place a trade. Yeah, I know. Well, it filtered out the idiots. It filtered out the morons. Well, that's probably not true. It would have filtered out the apes. $4.95 per trade, 60 cents per option contract. And, you know, percent commission. That's what they need to bring back. Yep. And you know, get rid of payment for order flow. You don't need that. And brokerages can make money off their customers like every other business does. Fuck this, you know, bullshit, run around, third party shit. Customers pay for their orders. End of story. Boom. Done. Just fix the market. Mark, safe from shelves. Okay. Okay. I believe on AMC. The shills attacks are heavy this week, so I do apologize for anyone who I have offended with any of my posts, except if you a shill. If you are, then fuck you. This is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth in history, and I don't care to go alone. I shall hodl until the end. I truly believe this can reach 7 figures per share. This person needs to learn the wonders, the joys of punctuation. I mean, I don't believe there is a single rich person in the world who would not use one single, I'm sorry, they used one punctuation mark in this whole block of text. Now that's a prerequisite to being 7-figure rich. And, you know, I'm sorry. I tend not to trust the stock analysis if you didn't master at least periods. Commas can be confusing, I get it. But periods, pretty much always use them. A lifetime, or so I've seen a lot of posts that say once in a lifetime MOAS. Is this accurate? Does this occur more often than I ever imagined? Like, could you really play the wait out, and could you really play the wait out the shorts game and win? This play seems to be the battle of the wills. Will they get away with it, or will we truly change our lives? I need this win, not because I'm financially desperate. I'm more or less comfortable, but in constant risk. 2008 destroyed me. I honestly never recovered. Had to cash out my retirement to save my home because I lost my job. With that cash out, it took years before I could contribute again. I know many out there in this play suffered similar or worse. We all need this. The Hedgies cannot win. They've stolen too much. Their cocktail hour trading hints need to end. I think it's interesting that this person is talking about 2008, because we just had a crisis in our country. We're still dealing with it. That happened way more recently. And not only did it cause weirdness in the stock market and the economy, but almost 1 million people died from it. But this person's retirement, they had to cash out their retirement. Oh my God. Oh my God. You had to cash out your retirement. Entitled ass motherfuckers. AMC not going to the motherfucking moon. Take precautionary action. This weekend I removed all boxes, filing cabinets, and pieces of paper from my house just in case they spontaneously combust. They spontaneously combust. Because that's what Jackson Hunter said in his video that I watched a little bit earlier. There's two options. There's two. I mean, what do you guys think? Either, somebody said there was an arson, or these boxes of paper just spontaneously combusted. Yeah, because that's the two choices it could be. The two choices it could be. Remember 2008, and before that, all those who suffered from the pigs and their injustice. This picture represents pigs. This is who you fighting against. No, you're not fighting against the hedge funds. I mean, that right there is a big part of this narrative that needs to die. Big part of the narrative that needs to die. It's not retail versus hedge funds. It's not. If you go in with that mindset, you will lose. You will fucking lose, and you deserve to. All these people, the Flores prison. It's wow. That is something. Something. Vortex has made corrections to the late March 2021 short interest. Oh, 48%. 48%. Wow. March 29th. Really? So odd. Why would it collapse? Why would the... I mean, it's not timely, though. Like, it says that it's on that day. That's estimated short interest anyway. But look at this. So that's the effect of it, I guess, these days here. So like 5 or 6 candles before the 29th. So here's the 29th. So these candles here, the short interest, looks like this. So how does this right here, I probably put too many squigglies in there, but you know, basically this, can I move this? No. How did this come down here if there was no matching price action? I mean, maybe I need to zoom in. Oops. Maybe I just need to zoom in. Oop, now the arrow was moving it. I mean, not really. But they're showing that the, oops, they're showing that the short interest declined quite a bit. I mean, from so what are we looking at here? We're looking at the estimated short interest of free float 48. So the yellow numbers here go with the blue line. That makes no sense. Why are these colors off? I think we're hoodwinking us here. Texas is such a piece of shit. Volume 37. 37, okay, that's right at least. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't correlate very well. But again, this is estimated, and that day, estimating on that day is going to, any information that comes in that day is going to reflect something that happened 2 days ago. Because when shares are returned, no, let me say it the other way. When shares are borrowed, they're borrowed in the settlement process, so they're borrowed at T+2, not beforehand. And when they're returned, they go through settlement first, and then they're returned, so that's another T+2. So you could actually slide this over, you know, a couple days probably, but I don't know if Vortex factors that in or not, but if that's the case, humor me on this. Let me get this shit out of here. If that's the case, and then I hate how this fucking box is here too, because now you can't see the price action. But let's say that's true. And I guess it is that the fucking orange, the yellow numbers go with the blue line. So that's great. That's awesome. 48 here. And see, that doesn't even seem right. Like, it wasn't higher than that then. It was only 20, I guess. Well, anyway, let's just take this move here. Say this is 40 and this is 20. Just round it. And this, I guess, green scale on the right is price. So a drop of 20% in short interest. This is what Vortex is indicating. A drop of short interest from 40. Better, that's better. Oh, that's way better. That's not better. 40, and it's actually over 40, but we're just rounding it. 40 down to 20. And the price, what did the price do? Short interest went up, and the price sort of was going up, but there's a big red candle here, so it could line with that, maybe. But a drop of 20% in short interest, and then what happened to the price? Let's just go from middle of, we'll call the two poles, the 2 points here, middle of February, middle of March. We'll look at it over here since we can actually see what the shit is. So I'll just move this one over. Middle of March, the Ides of March. There's the Ides of March. And here basically is the Ides of February. So, although we'll go to 12th. So, those are the points where short interest was higher, short interest was lower. So now we can see it when we get the scale so it zooms better right here. Get that June run-up price action out of the picture so it can rescale itself. So a 20% drop in short interest caused, whoops, wrong one, this one. And this is just estimation, okay? A 20% drop in short interest caused the stock to go from 560 to 1423. So that's 154%, because that's indicating, it is indicating that the short interest dropped. That necessarily means that the shorts, that positions decreased, they closed the positions there. That's what that means when the short interest goes down. The only way it can go down is if short positions go away. How do they go away? Besides getting shot by angry apes, they cover their positions and return the shares. Shares have to be returned. In order for the shares to be returned, to be closed, positions have to be closed. In order to close the positions, you have to buy it back. In order to buy it back, you have to pay money. So now, this here is lower, this here is higher. So that doesn't make sense in terms of the short positions increased here and they decreased here. Well, you would expect it to go up from decreasing, so it'd be buying. But once the short interest increased, it didn't go down. It went up, and it kept going up. Model 3 dude, have a good night, my friend. Got to get you in this voice chat sometime, if you want. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the chat. Or I don't know. I don't know if you're in the Telegram group, but you should be. Anyway, have a good one. Catch you later. Yeah, I'm not going to be on here for much longer. Although, I'm late night crowd, I guess, here. So that's interesting to me to see that 48% here. So that 48% was after, actually, I should have gone, so that was that spike, but we could look at the next spike. We could look at the Ides of March to the Ides of the Ides of April. So let's look at that one. Let's move this one over. It's on the 29th. It's on the 29th, which is here, that the short interest was the highest it was, and the short interest was lower by, early April, right? Short interest was Short interest was lower by early April, but the price was going down. So how does that make sense? I mean, I'm just looking at what's here. Just looking at what's here. What's here on Ortex. So, I mean, the only thing I can think is that, well, and this makes sense. I mean, honestly, though, it makes sense that a lot of short interest would go away before this run up, I guess. And that would sort of indicate, like, you know, because like short the VIX and then like they like to say, like, you know, they could have covered at $10. They could have covered at $5, but they held their positions. What's going on, guys? I don't know what I'm talking about. So, but we know that that's not true. That it would never, they would never hold their positions through this run up here. So these positions were added to, or you know, short positions were taken on here. But the ones that were closed, so did I just literally just close both trading views at the same time? How did it? Oh, I collapsed it. So it's just hard to kind of like figure out what's what here, because the price was higher. So I'm looking at a point where the price was higher. Back here in this GameStop, see they have it zoomed in with the run up here, so you're not seeing really the contour here because it's zoomed. But you can see on this chart, like when you get that run up out of the picture, you can see that, you know, a little bit better the proportionality of these moves. So this was higher, so you know, here, let's just split the difference down into here where the short interest declines. That's a 50% decline. So you could say, all right, so a short position entering here, you know, writing this down, covering here, that's a 50% gain per share. So that makes sense. And just because we see this curve going up here and then coming straight back down, that's not necessarily the same positions opening and closing. So you see positions opening here on the GameStop squeeze makes sense because it's a higher point. So in other words, this down curve here could actually be from these positions here where it was actually higher and the short positions would be profitable. I'm just, you know, speculating, but I don't really see many people trying to rationalize this or figure it out. They're just hyping, oh my God, it was 48%. We should be at the full float shorted at a minimum. That's what the apes say. I mean, okay. Why? Okay, that's what we just looked at. Let's see. This is, I don't know what I'm looking at here. So this is from, yeah, see, it says the latest one was on here was March 31st at April 9th. So okay, so they say Ortex has made corrections to late March short interest. Here are my pictures that I have from mine and other sources. It was 1/4 of the corrected value. We should be at the full float shorted at a minimum. So here's this first thing. So it says 48. Now I don't know when this screenshot was taken. I'm guessing that it was taken, I don't know when it was taken, but it has 2022 on here, so I guess it was taken I guess this is the revised number. I don't know. It's unclear. But then this now has to be from April, because it's the last entry. So you can't scroll up. So now it says short percent of free float was 17. So that's the exchange reported data. That's the self-reported. Now, I'm sorry. That's the exchange reported. The self-reported is the live updates here. But, of course, we know that the self-reported, what that means is it's not the hedge funds, it's not the borrowers self-reporting it. It's not the hedge funds, it's not the institutions, it's not the short sellers self-reporting it. It's the securities lenders self-reporting it. In other words, the institutions that are lending the shares are reporting it. So it's not like there's an incentive for that to be underreported, is what I'm saying. But, the apes talk about self-reported as if the hedge funds are self-reporting it. Well, if you know anything about 13F filings and SEC filings, they don't have to report their short positions. That's one of the big problems with those position reports, and the fact that they're literally a month and a half out of date. But anyway, digress. But self-reported does not mean that the shorting institutions, short sellers themselves, are reporting it, self-reporting it. No, that's not what it is. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. Go look it up. Go read Ortex's descriptions of where they get their data from, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So the ape should really stop saying that. But if you take that part away, it takes a big talking point away. See? Now, it's just everywhere you look, there's holes, there's logical leaps and gaps that you take all these out, yeah, you got a $14 stock. Anyway, next picture is my Bloomberg terminal screenshot. Short interest percent of float, short interest / percent of float, 73.8 million, 18.28. So do we see that same number on here? No. Surely don't, but I don't know if this is any type of real-time thing or if it's using the same data. I don't even know. Do we even know what date this is? This is in... It's like the end of the same point, the end of, volume 37 million 2. 37.3, so yeah, roughly the same. So Bloomberg was saying it was 18%. Vortex's estimated was 48. That makes no sense. Okay. Here's, oh God, this is such a, messy ass image. Oh God, it's tiny too. God, you can't even, this is not even useful. Like, okay, estimated short interest. $80 million on loan, 127 million. Free float on loan, 31. Estimated short interest of free float, 39. Is it 19 or I think it's 19. Tuesday, April 6th. Here now. Oh, come on. Why can't I delete you? Whatever. So volume 44 million. Volume 44 million. Okay. So that's that. Of course, they don't have on loan average age. I mean, that's ridiculous. On loan number of loans or securities lending volume. Like, now, wouldn't it be nice to know, okay, at that point, what is the average length that these short positions have been open? Or technically, what is the average length that these shares have been on loan? But remember, in order to borrow them, you have to sell them. Settlement. In the settlement process is when they actually get borrowed. So, for all intents and purposes, under that definition, shares on loan would be basically equal to the short interest. Now, and you see that on loan is 30. No, it's so hard to see. 32.67 free float on loan, but 32. This is okay. That's 24. I don't know where the scale is for that one. Is it this? I don't know. It's so, these scales are just so ridiculous. It's so hard to see. Anyways, where's my other window? What happened to my other window? How the hell did that happen? So, yeah, I mean, and all these lines on here is ridiculous. You don't need all these lines. Why do you need the number of shares on loan and utilization and free float on loan? Those all three are a measure of the same damn thing. They're all telling you, basically the same thing. How many shares are on loan? Just a raw number. Utilization is a percentage, but it's based off the same number. And free float on loan is the same damn thing too. Like, it's just a different percentage. It's a percentage of the total float. Utilization is a percentage of the loanable float, and on loan is the actual number. Why do you need all three? It's dumb. It means you don't know. What I think, my opinion is, what it means is that you're not actually using the Ortex data in an intelligent way. You're just turning shit on because, I don't know. Because why don't you have on loan average age on? I want to know how long these shares have been loaned out. How long the short positions have been in. That's important to know. But we don't know that. Anyway. This is the kind of shit that I look at here. So. Sometimes. This is some of the shit I look at sometimes. Because I don't see anybody else looking at this stuff. I see them. You know what you see? Here's what you see. Here's what you see. What does this mean? What was the correction based on? Well, you're not sure. Yeah. So Ortex data is fucked so hard by Kenny Boy. Yeah, okay, sure. I guess, I don't know. But I mean, I'm trying to reconcile it. NYSE just released an updated most accurate short interest for AMC, 73.82 million shares short. The most AMC has ever been shorted. They tripled down on their short position. No, they didn't. It's not what they did. Because, how do I know that? How do I know you're gay? Because you like Coldplay. The short interest line went up and down. The short interest line doesn't go down. If they tripled down, the line would only go up. This is basic logic. This is what annoys me to no end, is when they say shit like that. They tripled down. No, they didn't. They didn't fucking triple down. Triple down means you're not going to take any money off the table. You're only going to add money to it. But what does this fucking line do? It goes up and then down, and then up and then down. By definition, that's not tripling down. That's not doubling down. That is adding. That is somebody was shorting and somebody was removing short positions. And then more short positions came in and then more came out. That's short selling and short covering, closing positions. It's the only way the short interest can go down. So, these are the basic things that are just overlooked. And it's basic logic. It's basic critical thinking. It's not even critical thinking. It's just understanding what the fuck you are looking at and actually thinking about it, instead of letting somebody who has another interest ahead of what yours is, what you think their interest is, telling you, filling your head with what they want you to think, because it will further their agenda. And that's exactly what has happened here. I mean, the further I get into this shit, I've been looking at this stuff for over 6 months, probably 8 months now, critically. The more I do, deeper dives like this, I mean, the more ridiculous this thing gets in my mind. And you don't even need this correction here. I don't care if the short interest is 48 or if it's, whatever it was before that or whatever. You can see this up and down of short interest line all the time. You can see it right here in the run-up, and you can do the same type of thing, and you can go back to the same posts from that time, and you can see people saying the same damn thing. They're just adding. Short the VIX saying, oh, shorts haven't covered. In my mind, shorts haven't covered. Then why would the line go down? Why would the short interest ever decrease? It should only be increasing. Oh, naked shorts. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? There is none. There is none. Synthetic shares. What's a synthetic share? Has anybody ever actually had any type of tangible proof of any kind of the supposed counterfeit shares? No. Something Lou filled your head with. Lou filled your head with that shit. Why? You have to ask him. But nobody can show any evidence for that. He never did, of course. He's standing on the fucking street talking. I mean, it's time for people to wake up and smell the coffee. It really is. And I like I said, the more I get into this, back into doing like deeper dives like this, actually trying to look at details and try to correlate things, it's just more ridiculous it appears. And it's good though, because it gives me different ways to present it, different angles to look at it from, and say, hey, well, let's go back here and look at this. Nobody cares about March or April at this point. But shit, I mean, you could use March or April. You use what happened in March and April to disprove the whole thesis. So I'm gonna have to work on my submission for the DD contest, which I probably won't even happen, because I know that I don't have confidence in the judges. Let's say that. So we'll just say it that way. But yeah, this is fundamental. Triple down. Triple down. So vortex. Look at one more post. Let's see. I mean, okay, so steel racks took out sprinkler system. I mean, you know, let's just apply some critical thinking. Damn, I can't believe a mother would call her son steel racks. I wonder how much TD paid him to take out the blah, blah, blah. Which in itself is bullshit. There are laws that things can't be within so many inches of sprinklers for this reason. I has to watch me a safety video every month down at the grocery store. And this shows up at least once a year. So either Fall Man will be crucified and will be the next didn't kill himself, or we get justice. Oh, good. Yeah, that's good. Equivocation. So that one picture that AMC Bigums was looking at. Let's see here. See if we can find. Oh yeah, it's this right here. It's exactly this. Now these are pallet racks, but basically something like this, something like this, this. Any of these. So the sprinkler pipes, the fire sprinkler pipes are red here. See them running through here all the way down like this. It'd be nice if that was higher res. This is a better picture. Oh yeah, good. So sprinkler heads here. This pipe is black, but it's got red clamps on it. They're not always red, the pipes, but these sprinklers are caged. So this appears to be the type of system that's here. Now I don't know if this was what was in that warehouse or not. I don't think we know that. It could just be sprinklers, you know, on the ceiling. But I mean, it's not. Here's another one inside the rack. Oh wow, okay, that's not good. That second one though. So the contention is there are laws that things can't be within so many inches of sprinklers. Well, I can tell you that just because there is a law that says it does not mean by any stretch of the imagination does not mean that that law is being followed, especially in a warehouse. Especially in a warehouse that's not open to the public, it doesn't have customers coming in it, that is, you know, I don't know what the staff's like, but, you know, I've worked in warehouses. I've seen some shit that should not have been the way it was in some warehouses. And nothing ever happened, but it could have. And people would have said, oh, there's no way because that the code says this. Well, you know what? People don't follow code. And yeah, there are inspections, of fire systems. But when something happens, when you have something, when you have an incident and something catches on fire up here or whatever, who knows? But let's say that there was a, this is machinery up here and it leaks oil, and it leaks oil down and it gets into a light fixture and combusts. Just made that up, but something like that. Obviously, that's a kind of a freak thing. This piece of equipment had to be right there, had to be leaking oil right there, had to be dripping down onto this beam right there, so it would run down this way right here and get into this light, which is, I'm just making up a light, that was over here, and it had to be energized at a time when there was, enough oil or whatever, like it had to be a very specific set of circumstances that would cause that failure. And then, that it just gets out of control. These sprinklers, these are pretty, these are spaced pretty close. We don't know what they were in that building, but like I said before, these sprinklers, there are certain standards of fire suppression that have to be observed. I don't know what they are, but it's fire code. So they have to be able to suppress a certain, whatever. But it's not going to put out every fire. It's not designed to. It's designed to provide, a nominal level of protection until the fire department gets there and can actually go in, with personal attention and actually put the fire out. But when things get out of control and it's too dangerous for the prior personnel to be in there, they're not going to be in there. They're going to let that thing burn. And yeah, the sprinkler system is going to fail at some point because it's not designed to withstand a 3-alarm fire, a fully engulfed, fully involved structure fire. It's not designed for that. So, I'm not an expert in fire protection by any stretch of the imagination, but I've worked in warehouses, I've worked in enough businesses to know that to say there are laws that things can't be within so many inches of sprinklers. Yeah, there's laws that say things can't be within so many inches of the ceiling, too. I've seen shit stacked up to the ceiling in warehouses and storage rooms, storage areas. So, a lot of laws and rules on the books, but that doesn't mean that they're being followed. Anyway, it looks like the viewership is dwindling down as well. They don't want to hear some practically boomer talking about the way things actually are in the world. So, anyway, this is, it needs to be said. It needs to be said. I'll say it. I'll say it again. Anyway, let me do this real quick here. Because it wouldn't be right if I didn't. It's like a ritual, I guess. Roll another blunt. Boss blunt. Alright. Pretty active this weekend on YouTube. Needed a distraction, So it's good, but I gotta shift gears back into corporate America world. Tomorrow's Monday. Man, I miss the days when I could stay up all night making videos. It was fun. I wish I still had all those videos. That would be more fun. Well, everything's different now anyway. At least I had privacy, single and pole. With you, I can't even jack off no more. You full of shit. It's changing for sure. Changing. The landscape is changing. The sentiment is changing. I mean, these diehard apes, you know, they're always going to be there. But it's really interesting. There's people actually talking about how fucked up this shit is. In terms of AMC, you know, the reality of what's happening, and it's different. It is different. That's why I had the idea of, you know, lift every voice, because there are these different voices saying this stuff now, and everybody's got a different take on it. But I appreciate them because they're saying what needs to be said. They're saying what they, you know, what they feel, what the evidence has pointed them to, and they're not beholden to the narrative. They're not under the spell. Put it that way. They're not a member of the cult. We're not members of the cult here. You know, we're outside looking in, trying to figure out why. You know. Anyway, good night, Manuel. Thanks for your links and being here. Appreciate it. Model 3 Dude. Let's see. Chilo 31416. Lynn, of course. Who else do we have in here? That was it. That's a pretty good core group. So it would be fun to have a large group of people in the voice chat. We'll get there. If you're watching this video later on a replay, and you appreciate what's going on here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I do have a decent amount of new viewers on each video, and returning viewers as well, so that's good. But don't forget to subscribe. And also, if there's somebody that you know that needs to hear some of this information, share a video with them, like one of my shorter ones, one of my less lengthy videos, or, you know, tweet it or something. I'm trying to get the word out a little bit more, more awareness, grow this community of, I say skeptics, but, you know, evidence seekers and appreciators of evidence and logic and common sense, critical thinking. So, and lastly, there's a link in the description for a Telegram group, finance chat that we have, and you're all more than welcome to join that as well. It's a little bit quicker way to share links and opinions and thoughts, as well as connecting to the voice chat here on live streams. So anyway, and of course, like the video if you liked it. You can not like it if you didn't like it. That's fine. Not here for popularity. If that were the case, probably would be coming in with a different message. But that's the whole thing, is that we are not here for popularity. Because we know that what is popular is not always what's right, and what's right is not always what's popular. So we're going for the correctness and a little bit more integrity, I guess, than some of these guys. Anyway, happy Sunday, happy Monday. Hope everybody has a good night, and we will catch you here for the next video.